Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Shackled City. How we doing? How we doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Excited.
We are
scared.
doing wonderful.
A bit of both.
Pretty great.
Yeah, good. You should be frightened. You should be. Not of me, of course. I am here to humbly facilitate an experience that you will find either endearing or trauma-inducing, or both, for years to come. So, this is episode 4, as we near the end of That Which Slumbers preamble. Again, just for reiteration's points, this game suggested inherently that I run you through a bit of a precursor experience to elope you into the world and help you understand what both the setting, some of its people, some of the problems, what it's like, if it is relatable, if you can facilitate the way that your characters are sort of eloped into that world as well, and how you can continue to build them. And, well, frankly, I don't know if you've got a good read of it thus far, but I think your expectations are building appropriately. So, let's talk about what happened last time. What do we think? What do you guys remember?
We were back in the pit.
Might have been a little bit, yeah.
And then we were back out of the pit.
That fast. Nothing bad happened. Not even
I
a
mean,
little bit.
5 of us were in the pit, and 1 of us was not in the pit, staring at the pit. But
Nothing happened.
most of us were in the pit.
Nothing happened.
That wouldn't make for a very good game if we met it for 3 hours and nothing happened.
A couple people got injured. Aaron almost died.
People got injured. We held hands.
Yeah.
Jackson
Hey,
flew.
I got bit on the leg. All right, I need to go. I need to get back to city.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah,
That was falling with style.
Carter had the best line, I think, which was, "Why did you bring me back? Everything was so peaceful," because he's now felt actual pain for the first time, and he doesn't know how to feel about it.
He felt so light.
He did. What a guy, that Carter guy. He's interesting start to finish so far. He's a tall drink of something. Everybody else is mixed with this morose, sweaty chagrin and hope. But Carter is just like, that might be flavored daffodil and confusion. I don't know what's happening there. Yeah.
Well, I am convinced that Carter is going to get us all killed. So,
Well, maybe. Or maybe Carter is the one to save you.
So far, he saved me from a
well,
fine.
see, here's the thing. He's going to kill us and then resurrect us.
Save me from a fine.
Is he
I don't have that spell yet.
Yeah, me neither.
You notice
Yet.
he said yet.
Yet. So let's talk about this from independent character perspectives here. I want to first look at Aaron. Aaron, your life sort of exploded around you over the course of about 30 violent seconds. What did that look like from your point of view?
Well, one moment I'm safely at the bottom of the cliff, ready to fight whatever it is that it has taken possession of Dieter. And
Yeah.
the next, there's rocks falling, and I'm knocked out. Next thing I know,
You literally got your shit rocked.
yeah, I got my shit rocked.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, Solsara is over me, and she had to toss me, and
True.
yeah, to save me from
Drew, his ass will not waking up.
more rocks, because apparently we were getting pelted from above.
Yeah. That was it was an experience, to say the least. You guys were not only fighting the threat of the descaling baboons as they were heading down the cliff face,
Mhm.
but those above that were also dropping rocks. They were shoving stones from the wall.
Yeah, pretty much. As far as Aaron knows, like combat. This is probably something he would have been like kind of meditating on, but combat was short, it was messy, and it was over before he knew it, before he even got to do anything.
That's combat. That's combat not only in tabletop games, but I mean, that's combat in the real world. It's over in seconds. Seconds. When now, like there's no appropriate stratagem. You can't plan for first contact, no matter how far it goes between other player or foe. Everything gets messy fast. So it did just that. It got messy quickly. Your body was thrown. Sora rescued you, and things started happening. What was happening around the other players? Let's go to farm. Let's talk about it.
Oh, in the battle?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
In that thick of it in the battle. What did that look like from Rowan's point of view?
Rowan honestly wanted to run away because he was worried about Dieter and everybody else. Aaron was down, Dieter was down, but Jackson stepped up, so he stepped up too. Can't like abandon these people.
No, you can't. That's true.
So he changed and fought alongside Carter, no matter what the cost.
Yeah.
Even if he gets hit with a mace.
You revealed something of yourself. I don't think you inherently wanted to, but in the moment it was a dire situation. What did you reveal to the party?
I revealed my full changed form, that I could shift forms.
Yeah.
Into what Rowan thinks is his image of his savior.
Yes. It was a bit of I hazard to call it a monstrous form. It looked more humanoid than monstrous, but there were some features about it that didn't seem entirely human. You had this bizarre, like devoid of color, a white sort of milky opaque skin, and you had these enormous wings, and you had claws like a demon, not something very angelic. What does your savior look like?
She is a very tall woman with like alabaster skin.
Mm-hmm.
Similar eyes, like pitch black eyes, blood, she has big black wings. Looks very similar, except she has very golden hair.
Okay.
Where he has his dark hair with little streaks.
Got it. That could be any
Looks like
kind
an
of
angel.
savior.
Yeah.
Not
Wings,
quite
big.
biblically accurate, but something.
She had less eyes than the biblically accurate angels. It's
True. We'll get more looks into that soon, I think. But you weren't met with, I would say, favored responses. Not everybody looked over to you with clappies, right? They weren't thrilled with you initially. Or at least one other character. Who was that?
That was Carter.
Carter, yeah. Carter spoke, but not in a language you were familiar with. It was that, how would you again describe that, Carter?
Sounds almost like music, like bell chimes in the wind, or as when he's more like shouting, or in that moment, like heavy percussion of like a large bell or gong.
Yeah. It's wild when out of nowhere the mouth opens like Pac-Man and Pac-Bell's cannon just starts funneling outward. It's intense, but your perception wasn't like, oh, hey, he's going to save us. It was, well, less than thrilling. But you weren't immediately attacked. You weren't attacked because you had to rely on each other. I'm sure there's more to unpack there. You will eventually have answers to your questions in time. So, Sora, let's talk about it from your point of view.
So Sora kind of didn't spend much of the fight actually fighting, because a lot of her fight was getting Aaron to not be crushed by rocks, because she tried to wake him, he wouldn't wake, so she tossed him out of the way so she could actually help, and by the time she was going to help, she would have gotten hit, and then they stepped up and they stopped it, and she didn't get hit. She's not quite sure what to make of this whole thing, but she just knows that everybody kind of stepped up.
It's kind of interesting how the four of you begin to immediately function in a space that is oftentimes perceived as so messy. You fell to these default roles. I mean, most of you. Ivy, as Aaron unfortunately fell to gravity and an attack. But we saw our divine caster wield a weapon, unafraid to charge into combat. We saw our shifter take form and begin to do what he does best. It's to remove threats. And so Sora functionally acted almost matronly. She went into defense. Where was Aiden in all this?
Aiden is up at the top of the pit. He didn't see much of what went on in the pit because it started out. He tried to duck and hide from the baboons. Saw they were they were grabbing rocks. So giving into his not smart but altruistic urge, he tries to move into, do whatever he can to distract or do whatever to the baboons. Baboons noticed him creeping up, and so they started creeping back at me, which I got scared. I started backing away in fear. And for the first time ever in my decades of life, some sort of arcane bolt came out of my hand. Missed wildly because the dice bot decided that all rerolls were going to be 3s. And then I got bit. I felt I felt dark whatever contagion course through my veins as I, once again rolled poorly and failed a fortitude save. I can't wait to see what kind of, hell is going to result from that. Because I immediately want to go back to the city and get cured, but everyone says, no, we're fine. We can go back to the...
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. You'll be all right. Spellcasters, am I right?
We rubbed some dirt on the cart.
The interesting thing about it is as soon as the baboon tasted my blood, it shrieked, screamed in pain, and ran away in terror. The other baboons saw it do that, and then they ran away in fear as well.
Yep. What could that mean?
Well, we don't know what that means. It hasn't been revealed in the game.
It means you need to stop smoking. Really bad for your health.
Maybe it's something to do with just because of who my family is. Maybe, who knows what it means. All we know is that, they tasted my blood and suddenly they were scared of me. So, hey.
The baboon said, "Ooh, yucky."
All I know is
that's a fine.
I do not taste like banana.
True, you are not an appealing flavor to them. You scared them for one reason or another. Combat ended pretty viscerally down below. Over the course of, I think, 2 or 3 rounds, we saw a number of people attacked, bit. A few saves were made. Who failed their saves?
That would be me.
Everyone else make their saves?
I also failed a save, I think.
I made my save.
Yeah, I think you did fail your save.
I don't think I had to make any saves.
But he was dead, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there we go. Aiden and Carter, baboon bros.
Yeah, I'm sure this will go well. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen there? Perfect. Yeah. That's how combat went. How did things look post-combat?
Everybody was rough.
You're exhausted.
Dieter was rough.
Slow.
You had to bring him back from death's door. Dieter should have died. He would have died without your assistance. What did you do with the mask?
Put it in my bag.
Yeah.
Kept it safe.
What's the deal with the mask?
We don't know, but it seemed like it was eating his face.
Yeah, when you pried it off of his head, it seemed to be either consuming his skin, his hair, or maybe it was taking the place, like it was trying to become his skin, like the new default epidermis. It's a way to look at it.
Hint, hint.
Super glue. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. No, it was lined with Gorilla Glue.
Perfect.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a good show. Glad we could do this already.
Yep.
It's over as soon as we started. Fantastic. All right. How did the rest look that night?
Not great.
Yeah, it didn't go smoothly. What do you remember about it?
It started out okay. So Sora didn't notice any problems. She started to rest. She went to Aaron and she said, Aaron, I don't blame you for what you did. They hugged it out. She watched and she went out. And that was that. Everyone else is a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron also had a pretty good watch. Not too much happened. And then he went to go get the Rowan for the third watch.
Yeah.
Aiden.
I think it
Or
went to
Aiden.
Aiden next.
I went to Aiden.
Yeah,
that's right.
it came to me.
Yeah.
I did a quick tour, and then I was gazing at the stars, as is my wont. And next thing I know, I see shooting stars. I see a vision, and 4 to 5 hours have passed.
Yeah. Yeah, Carter got an awesome sleep.
Standing up.
Oh, just absolutely perfect sleep. And frankly, it was much needed. What was your vision, or what was this imagery that you were given as Aiden?
Well, at first, the stars started shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and then they started shifting and mirrored each other. And I was given a constellation vision that pretty much mirrored the angel demon 3-eyed mask that Dieter had put on.
Yeah, and you guys still don't know anything about this mask. You know nothing. You know it's not normal. Most people don't put on masks and then suddenly have strength beyond strength and sight beyond sight. You don't see them climbing down the walls. Not upside down, at least.
He became a Thundercat.
In a manner of speaking, it became something. Dieter was trying to kind of come back. It was very difficult for him to cycle both the wounds and the exhaustion. We saw Aiden, I hesitate to say show shame, but I could definitely say that he wasn't thrilled with the fact that he might have fallen asleep in his watch.
Yes, the only thing that isn't causing him to spiral into full shame is the fact that he was standing and then 5 hours passed and he was still standing, and he has never fallen asleep on his feet.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't feel tired. You don't feel exhausted. But that wasn't the only visions that we were given that night.
I had a dream.
Yes, you did. Let's talk about that for a minute.
I was transported to the farm where I saw 3 young children. The one who was named Declan, which we don't know how that relates yet. And then we saw them taking some sort of fluid out of the well, which we later determined was tallow or animal fat, and they were told they had to drink it so that they can get fat to feed whatever's underneath the what's it called, the farm.
What's under the farm?
From when I tried to look in the well, it was this big black mess that was trying to get out of the well. It looked like little hands or tendrils were trying to get out, but they were being stopped.
What was stopping it?
Couldn't tell.
Couldn't
Maybe
tell.
some sort of invisible barrier, some
Okay.
sort of protection.
All right. What do we think above board not from the character's point of view, but based on your perceptions of that vision and dream, what do you guys think is happening at this forlorn farm?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think there's, at least as Ivy, I think there's like a long-term contract that is going on, and this family has been fulfilling this for probably several generations, but the family is kind of running out. There's not too much of them left, so there's reason to bring more people into the fold.
Okay. Anybody disagree with that?
No, I think it's a little more detailed, but yeah, I think they made some sort of agreement either for like good crops or good land, and this thing is locked. Like maybe this thing was ruining the land, and they made a deal with somebody to keep it locked up. But the only way to keep it locked up is to sacrifice somebody every generation or whatever the deal was.
Or it's just waiting until it has consumed enough people that it grows large enough that it can get out of the well on its own.
Something still locked it in the well. I didn't see a lid on it. Something's keeping it down there.
That's true. Something, you know, like without a doubt at this point, that something is down in the well. Something is there.
Yep.
Okay. No idea what this Declan figure is about. It's certainly not Dieter.
I think it's probably his dad or his grandfather or something.
Okay.
Because then Dieter showed up at the end of the dream and pushed me in the well.
He did. Yeah. As often horror stories might do. They plunge you into the darkness.
Into the pit.
Into
Back
the well.
to the pit. Yeah. Things were not going so smoothly. You expressed to each other about these visions, this nightmare about the mask. There's a correlation here. You're not certain why. You have no idea why the rival farm, or I guess the pairing farm, would inevitably have access to this mask and why it correlates to what's happening at this coffee farm. But that's okay. You arrived at the coffee farm. Our session ended with that. It's taken some time. 3 sessions, precisely. About 9.5 to 10 hours. Or over the course of 3 to 4 days. But you're here now. Some of you a little worse for wear. Others doing okay. Your physical side of things are seemingly enduring. But we're already starting to see some of the shake and shimmy of witnessing of your minds starting to take on something. A corruption, an infection of sorts. One of you wants to leave. You were bit, and you don't know what was in it. Why did it react that way? Why did the baboon run away? What's wrong with me? I know something spread from my leg. I know it did. Another you convinced that someone is secretly imbibing upon something a little extra holistic, and maybe some hallucinogens are making its way. Some of you sleep dutifully so, laying next to someone you've recognized as quote-unquote the foe. It's interesting. You've made for very interesting bedfellows up to this point. And before we dive into tonight's game, I would say that tonight, of all nights, I will be introducing wild magic. But nobody's going to dive on that tonight. It's too late. So instead, I'll introduce it next week for our final session of the year. If anyone would like to utilize wild magic in our final session of the year for Shackled City on the 18th, you will have to use it next week. Remember, folks, this show has been sponsored by my best and favorite people through the power of Patreon and their kindness. And let's just start by saying that things are going to shift interestingly so for this game beginning in 2026. If you wish to bring about an NPC to insert themselves into this world, the only way that you can do that is through Patreon. If you have an idea, something that you wanted to breathe some life into, and watch them shift the tide, the ebb and flow of a game in live, that's how you do it. So consider supporting on patreon.com/BubTalks. Check out the levels, see which one works best for you. This is how we keep the stream alive, and we keep the dream alive. There are tiers so that you can get access to something poignant and powerful, or something that's middling and only mildly cumbersome, oftentimes leading to interesting relations with our party. Either way, consider supporting over there. Now I ask, before we dive in, how many desperation dice did we use last week?
2.
We've used 2.
That would be 2.
Okay.
1 for me.
I think it's 2 total.
Two
Total? Oh, perfect.
Yes,
I'm glad someone's
2
keeping track of everyone.
I'm actually keeping a track and keeping it bright yellow highlighted in my notes. So
Good. Good.
because we're gonna get fucked by those dice.
Yeah, you could. You could. So let's talk about it. We begin where we left off. As you crest the rise, the hills leading to the farm, and it slides into view, you remember hearing Dieter say that you're not far now, it's there, and he pointed. And you saw it. It wasn't difficult to see. Even with the light beginning to fade, cresting the hill itself, giving you that sort of ambery pink glow that paints the sky. It's still enough. You see, my friend, something feels wrong about the farm. You can't quite put your thumb on it, but you know that something feels wrong in the way that it triggers your sense of survival. As you walk closer, you get a better sense of the surroundings, and that's when you can tell that the coffee bushes themselves are heavy with overripe cherries. Blackened and sagging on the branch, the vines themselves and thorny weeds have crawled up the various posts and fences that mark the rows, swallowing them in tangles. The yard is a mess of trampled mud and hoofprints gone soft with age. Dead grass lay flat where animals once paced, now long gone or lying still. Shutters hang crooked, the porch sags, tools are scattered where they dropped, and then never picked up again. See, there's a smell. It's a smell that some of you have smelled before. Under the usual farm scents, you know? Under the odor of nature. You get this rot, this sour coffee, and something sharper. Like old blood and wet stone. And the air hums with insect noise. The sounds of the working homestead are gone, and now it is this existing, persistent hum that paints that audible sense for you. You do see that there are some cattle leaning against the wall of the barn. You're not sure if they are dead, standing still, or deliberately standing still not to alert what you swear you just saw move from the brush into the flash of the forest, low and fast. Wrong in the way that it moves. You're not sure if that was a feral hiss, or if that was the sound of the earth beneath its body drawing up to grab it as well. And you can see the crop. The pride. The reason this farm even existed in the first place. It's warped from the undergrowth. Dark shapes sinking beneath your tree line. It's obvious. This place hasn't been neglected for a few days. It's been sliding into madness for a few weeks. Whatever's out here now isn't safe, my friends. And it isn't just the house that you have to worry about. You just don't feel safe at all. what do you do?
Turn around and go back to Cauldron.
Yes, guys, this isn't the scene that I anticipated seeing at all. I mean, can you see? I mean, look, that there's rotting coffee. That doesn't happen in 3 days. Oh, he's feverish. Who the hell knows what he's seeing right now? But is this how you left the farm? Can you see? Can you tell? Well, it may sound cliche, but I've got a very bad feeling about this. Dieter, where are your siblings?
Dieter looks on at the farm, sort of in amazement. His eyes searching for purchase for anything that feels familiar in how he left this, but it feels like a memory. I don't know. I don't know. Why has it changed? What's wrong with my home?
Can I roll a sense motive on that?
Of course you can. What are you trying to sense?
Just kind of his actual reaction, because he was on the road presumably for 3 days to Cauldron and 3 days back.
Correct.
And as far as this place looks, it looks like it's probably been more than that since it was abandoned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to kind of see, like, hey, how genuine is this reaction to how this place is looking?
He visibly looks confused. There are no telltale signs of someone who is trying to lie, either through their teeth or through omission, whatever the case may be. He visibly is confused and concerned. His whole face, even his body language is painted in that.
Well, let's go check out the main house. Maybe there's someone in there.
Dieter begins to scramble from his position in the cart, and he doesn't do so eloquently. So, like, he steps out and his foot hooks on one of the upper lip of the cart, and he falls out. But before anyone can even offer to help him up, he's like pushing himself up, very weakly so, but he's like dusting himself off, but still walking to the farm.
Rowan would support him when he sees him doing that. Like, go up under his arm, pick him up, walk with him.
He accepts the help. He does. You can tell he's trying to move faster than he is.
I'll move faster then.
Cool.
Help him, like, get to the main house.
You said there were dead animals around, correct?
Yeah.
Can I kind of go and take a look at one to see, like, did they die from starvation? Or they die from similar to what the other animals suffered from these baboons?
You break away from the group and you start to move to the pens. And here you see something with like, I would say, a degree of surprise, right? Like, this isn't something that you encounter frequently. Unless you come from a significantly wealthy family, you are not prepared to weaken your resources. Your pools of resources are genuinely very seldom. And in this case, in previous conversation, he admitted that they have only recently come into cattle farming.
Mm-hmm.
When you make it to the pens, the pen itself is, I mean, it's in disarray. The cattle pen it's like a churned pit of mud and filth. And you can see that there are a few cows that lie scattered. Their ribs are sharp under slack hide. Their eyes have since filmed over. Some of their bodies look like they have been dead at least a month, but the smell is fresh. It's too fresh for have been gone that long.
Does it look like the fat's been sucked out of them?
No, it looks like they were starved.
Yeah, so, okay.
And as you drum closer, you kind of get the general sense of the overall length of time, right? Because the thick cloud of flies began to boil off. It sort of looked like from afar that their skin was sort of shifting. You know, like when cattle or like horse, that their skin twitches, right? At the response to flies or irritants to their skin.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it shifts off of their body. It's like a blanket of carrion feeder. These flies cover it like a jacket, ready for a storm. It rises off of them, and you can now catch the sharpness. It's disgusting. For him to have only been gone, 6 days, 7 days? There's no way that matches the degradation, the decay, the corruption that has hit this farm. Dieter seems almost out of time. 3 days, 6 days? Not possible. This is beyond a month. You can see that something has tried gnawing on the bones that decorate the skin of these creatures, where it looks almost like the hide has been draped over a spindle prepared for it to be sewn to the bone itself. Something has chewed through the skin, and the bones are chipped from repeated gnawings, not cleanly cut. There are still living cattle, but they're remaining very, very still.
Do they react as we get closer to the house, me and Dieter?
So, yeah, they don't react when I approach the pen or like we approach the house or anything like that.
As you're approaching the house, no, but when you approach the pen, you were noticing that there was the swipe of a tail, just the occasional flicker of irritation. But as you got closer, they became very acutely still.
Something is frightening these cattle. For a domestic farm animal to just stay still when they've presumably been starving for a while and their only source of food is humans or the pasture they're in. But I doubt it with the what condition this pen is in, that they have anything to eat. So, at least to me, that seems like they're deathly afraid of something.
Can I get a perception?
Yes.
All of us? Or?
Just him.
Okay.
Nobody else has moved closer to the pens. You didn't think a lot of it at first, but as you begin to look down at the boil and the swell of this blanket of flies as it continues to rise and fall like smoke from the flame, but there's no fire. You glance back to those that are living, and you see around their muzzle, across their nose and the tops of their lips, the bottom of the lip. Their mouths are bloodied. Can I get a handle animal? This is just an animal sense, essentially. Aaron, you don't see it a lot. It's not something you see a lot, but you've heard of it. When animals are denied resources, when they're denied food, they try to find food anywhere they can. You realize that the cattle were trying to eat the dead cattle. The chipped, gnawed parts of the bones didn't come from baboons. It came from the living cattle doing everything they could to survive. Now, they don't do that. They don't just do that. Cows just don't start feeding on one another. They're not known for cannibalism, right? They don't have the upper capacity to do that. But something drove them to that. Let's glance back. We're going to look back to the others. As we see Dieter and Rowan moving off to the house with some rapidity, we see the three of you. Aaron walks off to the pens as he seems to look in, the pens only half destructed. His attention is very intensely drawn upon things that haven't gotten to your nature. Do you leave the wagon there? Do you have any conversation? Do you do anything different?
I imagine that Carter, because you said that the place just feels wrong to all of us.
Very much so, yeah.
His instinct is to start trying to find the wrong. He is moving from just various locations in the farm, and he's gonna cast Detect Fiendish Presence.
I need you to make a will save.
All right.
That's an even or an odd in your favor, my friend. You tell me. I'm going to roll a d20. You tell me even or odd in your favor.
Let's go odd.
You begin to meander about the farm. You see the house in its state of external disrepair and age. You pass by the pens, and you can see the blanket and bloat and boil of flies as they shift from the carcasses of what was once probably a pride, a newfound resource to the farm. You see the various signs of panic, the front door hanging half open, its hinge sort of straining, a chair on the porch lying on its side where someone tripped or was shoved, maybe. Near the threshold, you see Dieter pointing first. There's a Shaw, and he glances back to you, Rowan. Each of you can overhear him even from this distance. He says, that was my sister's. That was my sister's. There appears to have been some sort of scuffle. Rowan, signs of fight are very apparent. But our camera lingers again over the shoulder of Carter as he continues to move about, and you mill through the coffee fields in various rows as you're stepping and shifting. Out here, you see bushes that are bent and they are broken, where sections are flattened out as if something heavy crashed through here. Overgrowth choking the gaps where hands probably should have pruned these weeks ago? 3 days? 6 days? No. No. Here and there, leaves are slick with this black and gray slime that glistens unnaturally. You kind of want to reach out and touch this as you cast Detect Fiendish Presence. It dances over the leaves through this ichor, this liquid substance that clings to the plant life itself. In your vision, it appears cold and wrong, and you want to touch it. Against your better judgment, it craves your touch.
Do I have to touch it?
You don't have to, but it feels right. Feels like the sun is encouraging you to do so. Nothing protects you more than Paylor. Will Paylor's resolve weaken here in this moment? You're not certain. You don't have to touch it, but the want is there.
So did the fiendish presence trigger with the slime, like I'm detecting an evil presence from the slime, or
Yep.
I just want to touch it?
It is triggered with the slime. You get the sense that something about it is It's not from this place. It's not from this space or this time. Time. That has been the one thing that has been off since you stepped foot over the hill. He said 3 days here and 3 days back. It has been 5 days? He couldn't be wrong. You only took 3 rests. Did you take 3 rests? Was it only 2 rests? Everything's been off since you fell into that pit. And since you've arrived here, nothing has felt normal. 6 days? This place has been untended for at least a month. Either the boy is bad with time, or he has lied, or something else has happened.
I would like to get one of my torches out, light it, and just bring it close to the slime. I want to see how it reacts to the fire.
As you break out your sort of flint and steel and you crest it over the top several times, right over the top of the torch, it sort of blanches to life abruptly. Everyone can see this new stark contrast of fire amidst the graying horizon around you. That's the thing about this place, it's almost devoid of life. Like life itself just decided to quit. Not that it was taken from it, but that it decided to quit. And as the light seems to grab and at purchase of the areas surrounding you, you are immediately met with the leaves beginning to outstretch to your heat.
Let the leaves take the torch.
The leaves grab onto the torch, and as the flame seems to dance over this blackened and gray like ichor slime, it seems to bring it in like a warm embrace. And you watch as it snuffs the flame as the plants grow. Their vines begin to elongate, the leaves begin to thicken, like it's feeding from the fire of the sun, much like yourself. You sense a bizarre and innate kinship in this moment. You watch, though, as the firelight has weakened. Sky is quickly losing its amber and pink hues, and it's starting to fall into light violets. A plum at first. Everyone can hear the cacophony of cries from the forest surrounding the farm. It's not one, it's not a dozen, it's more than several dozen simian-like cries. And your survival instincts fire into overdrive. You were afraid of 4. The thought of a dozen is horrifying. To say that you're outnumbered is underspoke. Dieter doesn't take this opportunity to consider what is beyond the farm. He simply picks up pace, and you notice he begins to get away from you, Rowan. Do you just take this opportunity to kind of muscle with him along?
Yeah, because he's severely injured.
Yeah.
And Rowan knows that, but he sees he's trying, so he's gonna stay with him.
Got it.
Pace match.
What about Aiden and Solsora?
Well, as they started going separate directions, Aiden was just going to kind of stand in the middle so he could do what he can to kind of keep both groups in his eyesight. He's very tentative. He doesn't think splitting up like this is a smart idea, but he's not exactly in the position to physically stop either of them either.
Sure. And Solsora?
Sora would have also pulled the cart. She would have followed Aiden to the middle. She doesn't want to commit to either of these two groups because Rowan is currently alone, Carter is currently alone, and Aaron's currently alone. So she wants to kind of sit somewhere in the middle that she can at least keep a general, even hearing, if not seeing.
How far apart are we? Sorry.
It depends. What matters here is would Silsora have stopped moving the cart?
Probably brings the cart to the middle and then stops moving the cart.
Okay, so from where you are, from the central road that you were kind of walking, you're about, I want to say 30 yards from the front door. The barn itself, where the pen is probably about 100, I would say about 150 feet out. Beyond that, we see the rows, just sight beyond sight, the rows of dense cherries from the coffee. You probably wouldn't see much of Carter at this point, not since the light began to die.
I think I would have reminded them before I went with Dieter, like, to stay away from the well. That's why I was asking, like, how far apart we were.
He doesn't say anything to you. He doesn't even acknowledge that. His focus is sincerely elsewhere.
When the cacophony erupts from the... Aiden is going to visibly flinch hard. He's going to look at Silsora. We should get out of here. I feel for the boy, but this is dangerous. We need...
What does Silsora do? Do you just agree?
We can't leave Aaron, we can't leave Rowan, we can't leave Carter. If we leave, that's gonna sit on us. Even
No.
if we die,
I mean, we all need to leave. We
yes,
all need
but
to get
we
out of
will
here.
Get them first.
Aaron, how do you respond to this series of cries and roars from the forest?
Well, first of all, he's going to... I think he's going to book it towards the farmhouse,
Okay.
where Rowan and Dieter are. This place is abandoned, but these apes know we were traveling this way. We can at least guess they know we're in the area. However, if there is any place to hide, it would be a basement or somewhere where not all dozens of them can get on us at once. We're not going to be able to outrun these.
No, I don't know if outrunning them is on the table. You're already aware of how fast they are. My question is, do you flee to the house or do you flee to the wagon?
I'm going to flee to the house.
Then to Carter.
When he hears the baboons, he's going to draw out his Morning Star. But he probably also wants to try and... Plants are evil, but they want the sun.
What they crave.
Electrolytus.
That's the spell he casts.
Only has some electrolytes. Plants crave it. You know what? I'm gonna touch the plant.
When you reach down and you touch the plant itself, you begin to feel, at first it felt like sort of heat, but it immediately begins to draw heat from your fingertips. You watch as the vine slowly begins to slide forward as if it's trying to grasp onto your hand in a warm sense of welcome. Do you do anything as it slowly begins to move over the top of your hand?
Hmm. I am going to cast. I want to cast Cure Light Wounds on it.
Interesting. Interesting.
If it's a Brondo.
You begin to cast Cure Light Wounds. You run through the verbal and semantic components. As you begin to cast, it seems to channel through the plant, and you see this brief, almost flare up, like it was expecting something more. And then you can feel the cold sort of entangle around your fingertips in this bizarre and warm embrace, not like it's crushing you yet. And then it's almost as if your vision follows the length and the route at which it takes to travel through this plant. And as it seems to peter down the length of the vines running into the cold, darkened soil, it moves beyond your field of vision. It's darkness. It's cold. It's the sound of earth trembling beneath your vision. It's following a root network elaborate and difficult to even consider, let alone draw and path in your mind. You get lost several times with a variety of lefts and rights, and then it seems to double back again, like it's coming back to you, and then goes under itself and back forward, running through a series of finger systems. You witness your vision fracture out several times before recentering on a singular spot and pivoting. And then you hit a root that's thicker, of a wood that is darker, that is old and gnarled. Wood that has not seen the sunlight in only the gods know how long. And you can feel that madness almost radiate through you. It's madness. It's not Palor's light. It's not a heat that is welcoming. It is a cold, consuming, living being. And it leaves you with one word, as it leaves your skin itchy and leaving this flake, almost like it is trying to slowly dissolve you in the way that you might expect a man-eating plant to exist. Your skin is raw and puckered from an acid of which you can't quite explain to the many, but you know how plants work, at least enough. That word that it leaves upon you is freedom. And you're not sure if it's the plant or that darkened grayish black slime.
Do I get a feel where, like, it was obviously following the root network everywhere, do I get a feel where it ended up?
Beyond the farm. You traveled too far for it to be in this farm. You don't know how far, you just know that it's beyond the farm. You're not even sure which direction. It's not the way you came, because you passed by a myriad of other root networks. This is dense foliage. This is definitely the forest.
I'm gonna go try and catch up with the others now.
As you turn and you begin to move into a gallop to get yourself away, as you can see they're quickly beginning to flee at the sound of the cacophonous roars from the baboons from the forest, the dozens of them, maybe even hundreds, you can't quite be for sure, because as they lead out of their breath, they draw forth another wellspring of air to scream and cry out again. But as your foot slams down in that cold, darkened soil, you feel the earth shake. Not from your feet, but from behind you, and you visibly witness, before you exit, the rows of coffee. The leaves recoil and turn away as that roar, that abominable, monstrous roar, this creature that Silsora described as this many-eyed, too many-armed being that might be a baboon, it might be a gorilla, It screams in a way that trembles the earth around it as if it commands the very geography. I need a will save.
That's a 4.
Congratulations, Carter. You have just experienced true fear for the first time, as your gallop becomes a dead sprint. As you feel the adrenal surge as it moves beyond your body, hastening your breath and encouraging you to move, the hair on your body stands on end, and you're afraid. Carter, you're certain you died earlier, but even death was peaceful compared to what you just heard. That is not normal. It is not natural. And that sound will haunt you. And you beat feet. You move faster than the time you fell into that crater. You're certain of it. You catch up with the rest of them, and all of you begin to march into the house of Dieter. Things are inherently a little different when we find our way inside. Thank you so much, Genhuman. You've unlocked yourselves your 1 luck reroll tonight thus far, if you need them.
Get into it. I'm glad you ended it instead.
I need more than 1.
There's still 4 spots. Anyone can make that happen. Moving inside of the house. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out in time as we begin to explain. Okay. I think we'll try this. Stepping into the house of Dieter, Rowan, you will discover that as Dieter pushes forward, he struggles to move up those 3 solitary steps as if he hadn't moved with an initial grace that surprised even you, despite his exhaustion, despite the damage that his body has taken. You see, the door of the house isn't locked. It was just pushed mostly closed, the screen door hanging ajar, as if it was doing everything in its power to stand upright like it mattered, an existing sentinel between the night and the darkness. But the second door on the inside, mostly closed. When he pushes, he struggles, but as you lean yourself into it to help him inside, it opens with a soft, almost sticky sound as it pulls free from the frame. And inside, well, the house, the first thing you're struck with is a smell. It's a delicate means. You smell the old stew that once brewed atop a poultry oven. You smell sickness in the air. And there's a sourness of unwashed sheets. He pushes his way forward, trying to let go of you, and he moves into a communal kitchen space. He looks on, you see his eyes tracing the room for anything, and he stops and puts his hand over his mouth. And then he lowers it, not sure what he was expecting to see. See, a pot itself has boiled dry on the hearth. The fire has gone out several times over. You can smell that they have burned wet wood in here. You're not even sure how they did that, but it just smells that way inside of the room. The fire has since burned to the bottom of its natural fireplace and kettle, like it's blackened out the bottom of it, almost as if it burned through the metal itself. 2 wooden bowls sitting on the floor because the table was flipped. One still holding on to what looked to be the crust of a bread that has since molded over, yet become as hard as stone. Rowan, there are no children here. There's no laughter in this house. There is no running feet, sounds of happiness in life. It is just the creak of floorboards and the slow, labored, drowning sounds of breath coming from a room beyond these paper-thin walls. The house breathes, Rowan. And as quickly as you were trying to discern the direction that was coming from, you overhear the heavy footfalls of both Aiden and then Aiden and then Aaron and then Solsora. You haven't heard the sounds of Carter yet, but everyone breaks into the house to see the exact same thing.
Oh, God. Shit, this thing. Y'all heard that? There are baboons out. I think they're coming.
It sounds like something's inside here too. And I'd point to where I thought I heard the breathing was.
You point just beyond the kitchen where Dieter is standing, and his eyes sort of tracing to the various doors, one leading to the back outside of the house, another leading to a place that seems to maze its way through the farmhouse. But his eyes constantly trace back to a creature on the ground. Amidst the chairs overturned and the shattered crockery across the floor, near the wall, a baboon lies twisted and still. Its neck snapped, teeth bared in a frozen snarl, as if someone got lucky.
Dieter, I don't know if your brothers and sister are here anymore. I think the baboons got them.
He immediately turns, and there is something that looks like a mixture of fear and frustration and anger and vitriol and violence and everything as he runs the gamut of moods, trying to discern the words that are coming from your mouth, having a hard time believing any of it. He pushes beyond you. You're surprised at what little strength seems to exist in that child's body as he booms beyond, pushing to the stairs, and he begins to climb up, hollering out the names of his siblings.
I would follow him, but then I would tell the others downstairs, get ready to barricade the door once Carter comes in, just in case.
Carter is running up the steps now. You hear him push beyond the door, and he's clutching his morning star, his eyes wide with fear.
Yeah, we need to... Shit.
Yeah, is there something that looks like a cellar or a basement or anything?
You want to look?
Yes.
I was looking for the biggest item in the room that they're currently in. A chair, a sofa, a table, something.
You find a lot of those things, but nothing that really looks like it's going to be dense, right? They don't exactly have a plethora of oversized lazy boys in the house, right? It's a farm. They might at best have some sort of armoire that is packed with the fine china, which is a series of probably uncracked plates with flowers painted upon them.
That's the heaviest thing that she thinks that she's found. She's pushing that towards the door.
Give me a strength check. A perception if you want to search the house. As you push the china cabinet.
Shit.
Aaron with a 5. Solsora with an 11. Rowan with a 9. And Aiden with a 13. You guys begin scattering through the house. What does Carter do? You're muted. I thought for a second it was just me.
Yep, I'm muted. He's gonna go over to that overturned table. He's going to honestly just like huddle down, like holding his own legs behind it. And he's gonna cast light on his pendant of Paylor and just try and like he's muttering to himself in his other language, trying to calm down.
As everyone begins to look throughout the house, trying to find any signs of anything that could fortify this domicile, each of you are infiltrated by the sounds of music, unnatural, not even really earthly music. It's a song of concern, a song of fear. You're all led back to the kitchen, or at least those of you that are looking downstairs, and you'll find Carter huddled behind the table, his knees drawn tightly to his chest, and he has his pendant in one hand. It is illuminating a sunlight glow, and in his right hand he still white knuckles his morning star as if it is his lifeline to survival. Something has shaken him.
Aiden's spooked himself. He's trying to do everything he wants. He's trying to keep an eye out through the any open windows, any open doors to the outside, see if there are baboons charging or not. He's also, Carter, what happened to you out there? Are you okay? And Aiden is kind of confused. He wants to do about 5 different things at once, and he's kind of vapor locked as to which one takes priority.
Continue to hear the sounds of his mutterings in this almost rhythmic song-like chime and whistle, but something eeps through his own breaths. It's the heavy, yet somehow wet breathing of the house. Like a wind is sweeping through the eaves, trying to lift it to carry it to another place, but it's almost too human. The camera turns and it follows Rowan. Looking through your eyes, Dieter has made it to the top of the steps. He begins to holler out for his siblings. He calls for a Declan. He calls for a Sissy and a Marcus. His 2 brothers and his sister. There is no response. He immediately runs into what you would guess is probably a child's room, or children's room per se. You see that there are 3 small beds that left unmade, blankets tangled, sort of like they were thrown aside in a hurry. Drawings with a handful of waxen markers. In this case, it looks like what they would use crushed berries mixed with like a chalk to make a sort of crayon. It's pinned crookedly to the wall, one page showing the family standing near the barn with a tall, long-armed figure looming over them. Its face replaced by a crude blank mask. Tiny, muddy footprints track across the floorboards to the broken window on the 2nd floor of the house, where the latch hangs open. You glance outside instinctively as Dieter leaves. There is no awning or roof. It is a straight drop. And you can tell by the markings of the children's feet that they were different children that ran through the mud in the house. They were different children that leapt from the 2nd floor to the soil outside. That even in your state, falling the wrong way might result in death.
Do I see any bodies when I look out the window?
You don't. He moves again, Stepping outside of the room, trying to find anything that might potentially look like his siblings, he never once calls out to the father that he told you existed in this space, and he stops in a doorway. He stops cold in a doorway, and his face, oh man, his face is confused. As you're staring out into the hall, he takes a step inward. You can see that cutting spot of the angle of the camera. As you're glancing down the darkened hallway, you can't quite see the end of the hall itself. It's almost as if the darkness is trying to swallow not only the light, but the little bit of hope that remains. Do you follow him into the room?
Yes. I would follow him.
Dieter has fallen to his knees, lying next to a man on the floor. You can smell the sweat. Blankets twisted around the torso of a very thin frame. A man sweat-soaked. His skin, this waxy pallor of someone who's been sick way too long. His eyes sunken, but staring, unfocused, at the ceiling from the floor. His cracked lips, bloodied, moving in a mumble even before either of you touch him. Words tumbling out half-formed. His fingernails are dark. Smudges of something darker beneath them, as if he's been clawing at the dirt, but there is no dirt in this room. There is only wood. And you can visibly see the claw marks that he has etched into those mini 2x4s, trying to pull himself away from this place. Do you say or do anything?
I'd wait to see what Dieter does.
He doesn't know what to do. Put yourself in his position. You see him charge into his familial home, a place that he has only known as a safe harbor. His brothers and sisters are gone. You know that his mother had fallen ill, ? 6 months ago, a year ago, she passed. And now his father, he's lost. Farm. He doesn't know what to do. He looks up at you. And despite the farm-fed muscles, despite the lack of weight that he had when he glances up at you with his eyes welling thick with a water of which you know that youth can only create when they have not been painted by the tragedies and the dramas of existence, he glances up at you and you see the boy for the man that he's supposed to be and the man that he can never be now that he has no one teaching him. There is no way to explain the hurt on his face and in his eyes. And he tries to say something, but all that comes out is a...
I probably wouldn't say anything to him then. I'd probably just pick up his dad. I'd go over to him and pick him up.
Give me strength.
I weak.
It's not that you're weak. His body weight is weird. Picking up dead weight is bizarre. But this would be difficult if you picked up another person. Not this man. This man is... He couldn't have been over 100 pounds at his heaviest. You've had a harder time wrestling children. Dieter weighs more than his father. He's very light. And when you lift him, you hear that compression of his breath as you pick up this pile of sticks that was once probably a very strong man. Where do you lie him, or do you just continue to lift?
I'd probably put him back in the bed for now. If there's a bed, like I'm assuming he fell out of the bed, so.
Yep.
Just for now, in the bed. And then I'd probably see what Dieter wants to do. Like,
as you move over to the bed and you begin to place his body down, you can see the shape of where a man once had been. And when you place him in it, it is a silhouette of how large he once had been. How much he has shrunk. How much something has consumed him. It ate through his grit, his callus, the muscle that he'd worked his entire life training. The fat that kept him alive through the coldest months. It's something. It's a shadow of his former self. And when you begin to pull your arms away, you can feel that the waxiness of his sweat that has since adheres to the bed, it creates this almost natural, slick, yet somewhat rubbery feel to the top side of your arms. It pulls, but it glides at the same time. It reminds you of the substance the children drummed from the well in your dream. Our camera turns. It falls again downstairs. So Sora has successfully moved the china cabinet to the front door. That still leaves the back door. That leaves 2 windows in the lower portion of the house. Windows were not something that was afforded to those struggling to get by financially. What's everybody else doing? I have a feeling I know what Carter is doing. I'd like to know what Aaron is doing.
I assume I do not find a basement or a cellar or like even a hatch where you would store food in the ground.
You don't see anything that would look like a ground dwelling pantry. There seems to be no cellar door. You can tell that the house was elevated. It was definitely elevated because there were 3 steps from the porch. And when you instep to the house, it was level. So the dwelling itself is elevated, but crawl spaces weren't exactly a thing at the time. And it's not something that probably goes over your mind. You have a lot of other things to worry about, especially considering that you're looking for a door or a cellar pole or any kind of anything. Nothing really strikes you as the sort.
Gotcha. If he can't find it quickly, that's when I think he'll go upstairs to find Dieter. Dieter would know this house. He'd know if there's some place to barricade in. And if nothing else, upstairs is probably better than downstairs.
Okay. You begin to head upstairs. Aiden and Solsora.
Seeing he's getting no response from Carter, still nervous about the baboons. Sees the table, the overturned table he's hide behind, thinks that'd be perfect for bracing to try and brace the back door.
Okay.
Tries to maneuver that to brace the back door with.
Carter, you can feel the protective dwelling of which you've decided to hide yourself behind begin to shift and move around you. Protection yielded no more. I need a strength check, please, from Jen.
Is he still cowering in that corner, even though
Yep.
the tail's moving?
Until he says otherwise. Yeah, Aiden, you struggle. This isn't. It's not light. This is old school, old kitchen table. These were
Solid
meant to
wood.
last a lifetime, several lifetimes even.
So Sora, I think I found the perfect thing to brace the back door. Help me.
Sora will go help him
Sure.
move the table into place.
oh shit.
Oh boy.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you.
That's our second luck reroll, and I thank so much, Hermid, for that. That's 2 luck rerolls. Love it. Okay.
What else is in the building? Because between it becoming nighttime, what he heard, Carter just wants to hide.
You got it. You want to hide. The house is really kind of simple. It's more of a vertical home than anything else. You have essentially like a pass-through, a staging area for some sort of like work tools. It looks like the family has been dealing with some things. You're not really sure what that looks like, but you can tell they have, in recent past, been trying to put away things in a sort of like storage capacity, but you can't quite make it out just yet. A lot of materials have been crated. Some heavier furniture has been tarped. You see some of the tarps have been pulled to the side, and it looks like things that you would expect, at least from what you've heard, what women may use. A tall mirror. There is what looks to be some sort of vanity. Finer, more delicate things. Not for the hands of men. Not for the hands of field men, anyway. Family's still in mourning. Loss is more than apparent in this place, and you have found the perfect spot. It's hard to find you if they can't find you. You can tuck yourself in under a tarp. There's tarps over lots of furniture. One that seems to be draping significantly more than the others is next to the floor-length mirror. If you wish to use that, of course. If not, please tell.
I think his first instinct is he wants to go up.
You want to go
So
up?
he's going to go upstairs and probably try and find a room with no one in it.
Got it. Got it. So you quickly run about the house after the table has been shifted. You hear the sounds of the beating footsteps of Aaron as he is also running up the stairs, and you think that that's a great idea. You'll go upstairs where no one will find you. You make it about halfway up the stairs, and you can see that Aaron is sort of standing in the doorway watching something, but there's not many doors here. There's only 2? Only 2 doors? You immediately turn to the first room, of which is not occupied, and it's the room of children. The beds are smaller, but if you wanted to hide, there is still space beneath them. They're not toys scattered everywhere. This isn't what you might expect out of a film. Toys were for those that could afford it. If they had toys, these were homegrown, homemade, carved, whittled, and crafted. Handful of small rocking horses or infantrymen with sabers. Cornhusk doll. But nothing that really strikes you as a barricade, a fortification from beyond the darkness outside, and that scream that shook not only the earth but the core of your person. The closest you have is a child's bed. Do you take fortification beneath a child's bed?
Yes. Yeah, he's going to try and fit his honestly, like, he's not a small dude, so
No.
him trying to fit underneath that bed, that's probably not even gonna work.
Just
But
feet
he's
sticking
gonna try
out.
it.
Aaron, you as you're looking into this room, you can hear the mutterings of the man who is probably, for all intents and purposes, should be dead. But you hear the sounds of the footfall behind you, and you witness Carter break into the children's room. You are certain it's a child's room. You walked by and glanced in quickly, and as you continue to look into that room with the elder man, you hear the sounds of furniture abruptly shifting and moving, not with intention, but almost rattling. Does Aaron think much of it?
Aaron is probably something that should be seen too, but Aaron has something more important to find right now, and that's asking Dieter, is there anywhere we can hunker down? This house is raised. It must have some kind of fortification.
Dieter's attention is completely to his father. So you ask this question and it falls on deaf ears. He's like holding on to the ankle of the man that has now since been covered up from the waist below, and you're not given a response back. Rowan, you overhear Aaron in the door asking if there is a place to fortify and to hunker down, and you can tell that the boy is, while he is physically here, mentally he's 100 miles away.
If I heard that, then I would probably turn around to him and like put myself in front of him, put my hands on his shoulder, and look him in the eyes and be like, Dieter.
He shakes too, and he looks like very hopeful-eyed, like you are a beacon in a darkened place, a light on dark water.
And then I would ask him, like, is there anywhere safe in this house we can go? We could bring you and your dad, that we can hunker down, like a basement or anything like that.
His mouth moves a few times as if he's trying to reach for anything that might be an answer. Like there's a series of multiple choices in front of him, and each of the words don't seem to line up with the correct answer before he just finally sort of shakes his head. Our house is safe. Our house has always been safe.
It doesn't look like it's been safe.
And he looks down to his dad. He made it safe. He made it so safe.
Now we have to make it safe.
Dieter, your house is raised.
I don't know what that means.
Is there anything underneath the house?
No. There's dirt. Like every other house, there's dirt.
Does this room have windows?
No.
I'm gonna turn to Rowan. If this place doesn't have a cellar, like I thought it did, then this may be the best place to hunker down. Only so many of them can get upstairs at once.
Farm, can I get a perception from you? This is somewhat, it's a delicate listen, but I need to see if you can get it here. How are you feeling at about an 11? You feeling confident with that?
Use a reroll.
Okay.
There we go.
23 is much better. Yeah. You hear this faint and raspy whispering coming from the father of the house. It's over and over again. The lips move, but only the words come out part of the time. Marcella. Marcus. They heard breathing. I told them not to go to the stones. 3 for 3. Not this time. Grandpa. Grandpa. He sounds like a child himself.
Damn it.
Ivy, As you begin to walk down the stairs, you can see the light sort of cascading and pouring out from under one of the children's beds, and you have to double take because it surprises you. As you're marching by, you look, and then you have to look again. As you can see, Carter has pushed himself under the smallest of the beds because it's the one that seems to have the largest gap between the floor and its base. The man is disturbed. He's hidden, retreated.
Aaron will look at him. Do I see his eyes, his face?
You tell me, Carter, would he see your eyes and face? Have you curled with your back to the door? Or are you facing the door out of fear for what could come from that direction?
He's probably facing the door.
Okay. Aaron is stopped in the door. You look and you can see the wild eyes of Carter. This very tall and thin man leaning under the bed. You can see that one of the legs of the bed are not even on the floor at this point. Every time he shifts, it's almost as if the bed is beginning to dance a little bit, trying to find just the right way to lean and not completely flip.
Aaron will stomp down his foot hard and yell, "Carter, get out from under there," and I'm going to try to intimidate him.
Got it. Give me an intimidation.
I'm re-rolling that.
I thought you might.
Oh.
From a natural 1 to a natural 20. From a 4 to a 23.
That's the way to go.
Carter, it's jarring. It's jarring. It sort of shakes your senses. It's almost like when you were just outside. You felt the floor shift with the weight of Aaron's boot. You feel the pressure. The magnitude is not as intense, but enough that it reminds you of the soil outside. And the fear, that incalculable fear that sort of swept over you like a blanket. You realize that Aaron has done something similar in this moment. And now it's coming from a man, not a monster. See, that's a lot easier to swallow. It's a lot easier to understand because what you felt outside feels so magnanimous. It feels so unholy, like the foe's first soldier. But if a man can make that, it really diminishes that fear. And I think it shakes some of that fear from you. It at least grounds you again. It doesn't completely remove it. But you remember your purpose.
I know I'm born to fight, but I don't want to fight.
You can hear the fear linger in his voice, and it's somewhere between a curiosity, a revulsion to the concept of combat, but a necessity and an understanding. This is not someone who was specifically born to fight, but they fight for survival. You say anything else to him? How would you explain as the right hand to the captain of the guard, to men that are a little shaky in their armor?
Carter. Courage is not something men are born with. It is something they build. If you do not have courage of your own, use my courage. Use Paylor's courage. Use Rowan's courage. We will lend that to you. Survival is not won by hiding. Survival is won by fighting.
Give me a will save. Specifically from Carter. Very well delivered, Ivy. Very well delivered. What a great line.
And there we go.
That fear diminishes even further. You're not sure if it's this unnatural charisma. A child, no less. He might be a man in the eyes of the many of the town. He might be a guard, but he nary has the hair to prove his age. But he has the wisdom to speak beyond the years. And it continues to weaken that fear in you. You no longer feel the pressure to white-knuckle your weapon or to grasp upon the pendant of Paylor. What he says is etched in history, a truth that speaks beyond what you know. And he's right. Paylor affords light and courage, wellness and hope. A part of the good things come with the bad, and Paylor accepts that there is a coolness on the other side of the heat. It's duality. Do you stand? Do you rise from the child's bed?
He gets up and, almost muttering to, not to Aaron, but to just like open air. They laugh at me. They saw me like this, can't let them see me like this, can't let them know.
There's a long and pregnant pause. Movement has fallen to almost nil. It's as if you are waiting for something in the night to break that pause, to create a rift in the water, to shatter that stoic silence. But before it can, we're going to go on break. We're going to take a brief break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. So go ahead, run to the bathroom, bio, do what you got to do, grab a drink, and we'll see you in just a minute. Be right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are in it to win it. Thank you so much, Raiders, for bringing yourselves on over. Appreciate you, Mike and squad. We are coming back into part 2, the 2 of our experience tonight, episode 4. And I think that break was needed. I think my players here needed a moment to gather themselves. They have informed me that I have provided a series of feels and haunts, so I'm hoping now they've collected themselves. Our camera turns again to a one Carter. Just moments prior, you had found yourself buckled beneath the bed of the daughter of the house. You found the corn cob doll, the husk of what once was something probably very precious to her. And you thought you were barricaded. You thought you were protected and afforded a wall from the storm of a darkness that you can't or haven't quite put a face to yet. It's horrifying. But you were shaken. Not just from the features of that sound outside, but from the floor rattling from Aaron's boot, brought heavily down upon the 2x4 floor. And the rally was surprising, to say the least. He said to lean on him. Find courage in him. Find courage in your peers. Lean into Paylor's protection, in Paylor's light. And you said, you cannot be seen that way. We pick up right there. You said, you cannot be seen that way. Aaron, there he stands. He pulls himself from under the child's bed to a standing position. Not completely devoid of fear, but more so now that he can actually compose himself and afford words to describe his situation.
Let me tell you a secret, Carter. Something that was told to me by the guard captain. He told me that the older you get, the less confidence you have. Confidence becomes experience. You rely on that. What looks like confidence for all those great men is just familiarity. It's experience. So he told me when I was young to have confidence. When we're young, it's the time to show it. Because we don't have experience yet.
How does that sit with Carter?
I guess I need all the confidence because I'm only 3 weeks old.
You have the most confidence out of anyone here.
They were barricading down there, weren't they? I should help with that.
You continue to hear the sounds of furniture shifting in a room that is beyond your field of vision. You're certain that they're still moving that very table. They both grunted several times, trying to maneuver into position. The china cabinet, surprisingly light compared to this table.
I think that's a good idea, Carter.
Bet he's like go down. If they're still trying to move that table, I'm just gonna go and wherever I can, just try and get a handhold on it and start trying to lift it with them.
And with the newfounded confidence, you shift into a position so that you can help them kind of maneuver it into a spot or an angle that provides enough of a fortification. If the door opens, it's only outward. And even then, whatever's coming in will certainly struggle. There are only 2 windows in the downstairs. One is, in fact, in the kitchen. It is just above a washing basin tucked into the wall. And another is in the side sitting room. They're not fortified. They're not protected. It's glass.
You said there's the cabinet.
A cabinet? Yeah, the cabinet. The china cabinet was pushed into the front door. Now, that can be moved. You can move that in front of the window if you wanted to find some other furniture to help fortify. The only thing that might be able to help you is if you begin to raid the rear room where you had seen what you believe is the mother's belongings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll start to look through that room. Start to pull the sheets off of the furniture, start to see what's actually in there.
Yeah.
If Carter goes off like into another room, so Sora's gonna follow to try and find something for these windows.
Sure. You move into the room and you begin to find a series of like draped tarps that have been poured over a bit of the furniture, some of the personal belongings and the effects. There's like a bedroom chest, what looks to be almost like an end table before it was technically like a drawer. It was just like a standing station. Nothing quite large enough, right, to go over the top of that. But I'm going to go ahead and figure out how to do that real quick. Boom. Perfect. You, can I get a perception, please? The both of you.
All right.
Wow, my rolls are immaculate, huh?
You've got luck rerolls.
Oh, fuck it. Okay, that's better at least.
Sure.
There goes my luck rerolls.
Both of them?
Yeah, she rerolled twice.
I rerolled twice, yeah.
Love that. From a 7 to a 9 to an 18. You don't really think a lot about it. You're moving through the room, you're starting to drag some things, but Solsora, it makes the most sense that you perceive this. None of the others would. You begin to move some of the furniture, moving some tarps. And your footfalls are heavy. You're not a dainty figure. As you begin to drag, there is this hollowness in the room. It reverberates in such a way that sounds odd. It's off. And only you would pick this up because you are from a place in the ground. The floor echoes. It echoes as if there is a space beneath this. You hear the wood creak as it has no support from soil or dirt. You feel it buckle as if it wants to give under your weight in places where the floor is a little weak. You're confident that you could move, not fall through. But the rest of the house seems rather fortified. However, here, in this room that primarily has the matron of the household's things, the vanity, the surprising amount of personal effects, the books, the gifts that a doting and loving husband provided for his wife. This feels hollow.
I want to find wherever the floor is the weakest. And I want to try and pick part of the floor out. We use my Morningstar Warrior shield. I'm trying to break part of this floor. Not enough so that the whole thing collapses. She just wants to break enough to see if she's right.
Okay. Morningstar is probably not going to help a ton, but you are able to with what you said with a shield?
Yes, I have a light steel shield.
Okay. You will use the point of your shield at sort of the crook of where a 2x4 meets another. It sort of embeds itself in a familial home, creating this lattice network of however it is supposed to hold. And after a few moments, Carter, you can see that Sulsora is not focused any longer on finding furniture. She's focused on the ground. She's taking her shield and she's got it wrapped up in her arm and she's digging it into a spot in the floor, and you can hear it as it bends and creaks with every time she drives her fist downward, before finally you hear the as the wood gives. And the lip of the metal of your shield doesn't bend, but it lifts a plank.
She wants to lift it out of the way.
Give me a strength. You're incapable of doing this alone. You're struggling.
Carter! I need help.
Over my strength.
Okay. Your compared efforts, as you both lift, you're trying to find the weak point in this. You hear the snapping of wood in place where it seems to have cracked from been there for years. You hear the bending of nails as you're trying to bend this upward. Houses were just built different at that time. Not all too different, but enough so. And as you lift, you can see a very intricate lattice work of something else, something alive, something, Carter, that you aren't unfamiliar with. This darkened network of knots that your vision split between several times over. It has created its own sort of fortification supporting the floorboards. A root lattice. Not from any tree that you can see immediately. Its darkened branches, devoid of what you would say is a descriptor. It doesn't happen to have bark that is free and form-fitting. It doesn't have the growth lines that many of the others would. It is just black root.
Oh, we meet again.
To your surprise, Sulsora, he says, we meet again.
Again?
Yes, the coffee plants? I think Dieter said they grow coffee here. The coffee plants, they were seeping some kind of gray fluid, and it seemed to crave heat. I tried touching it just to see what would happen, and something was off. Oh, it did also trigger my ability to detect evil outsiders. So I traveled with the roots for some time mentally. There's a tree out in the forest somewhere. It's not of this world and it's not good. And I think it's causing the problems.
Do you think these roots are connected to that tree?
You have no doubt about it.
Yes. Maybe I should touch them again.
Carter said they craved heat. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it ate my torch. It's fine. I don't use them really.
Aiden. Our camera rapidly spins to the kitchen. Aaron just walks inside. You can see that Aiden has focused his attention outside of the rear window of the home. Aiden, you see movement flicker forming through the backyard, weaving in and out of the forest line into the coffee field.
Hey everyone, they're getting close. I see them at the tree line, coffee line, at the plant line, whatever you want to call it. They're moving out there. Hello.
Aaron, do you move up to the window to get a look for yourself?
Yes, I believe Aaron will do that.
Sure. Can I get a perception check, please, from both of you?
Amazing.
Exceptional rolls. Rerolls for either of you?
Yeah, there's no way I'll need another one of these later, right?
Oh,
12.
Sure, why not? I bought it after all.
Better.
Aiden, Aaron walks up and he looks outside. You can see he does the thing when you're trying to focus, right? Oh, okay. These guys, these absolute goons. Christy.
Jackson and I
Into
had the same
Jackson.
idea at the same moment.
Love that.
We'll do it ourselves.
We're both like, oh, I guess those two really didn't want to reroll. Let's give them another reroll, then they'll reroll.
You can see Aaron focus, his eyes tighten. You know, when you're trying to watch something, you do the eye squint thing because you're hoping to grow focus as you diminish what is external to that field of view you're watching very intensely. And it instinctively makes you want to look forward and do the same thing. And as you do so, you noticed something that you hadn't previously because you were staring over the basin of which they wash their dishes. And it's probably for the best because you noticed something different. You glance down instinctively just to start realigning your field of view. And you can see just near the house, enough near the house, not quite all the way nestled against it, but it looks like there are deliberate drag marks leading away from the house. Not like drag marks as in something was dragged like a body, but as in something repetitiously struck the soil. You can see intricate finger lines where something was attempting to free something from the ground. Scratch and dig marks with hands. You wouldn't have noticed that had Aaron not leaned in.
Those look like digging, clawing marks to you, Aaron.
Where?
Aaron, you see him kind of point downward, and you glance down. You look over the top, barely almost pressing your face to what single pane of glass is there, and yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it looks like something has been clawing at the soil.
I mean, do you think it was the kids? Do you think it's the things from outside trying to claw underneath the house? Do they look fresh to you?
I mean, do they look fresh?
The soil is somewhat damp. It's cold in spaces. And yeah, compared to many of the other things here in this place, yeah, the soil looks like it has been freshly moved by clawmark and fistful.
Can we get a rough determination of how big it is? Is it human size? Is it smaller? Is it? Sure.
You mean to tell me that you can look at a hole in the ground and determine if a human dug it?
Well, if it looks like fingers are grasped at it, you can kind of see the spread of the hand.
What would you like to roll? I'm very interested in this.
Knowledge digging.
Knowledge digging.
Knowledge dwarf.
That's right, knowledge.
Dungeoneering.
Well, I don't know what dug it, but this house is weird. It's
Man, as a whole, this house is strange.
Can I hear them from the kitchen saying that this house is weird?
I mean, yeah, you
I figured the house is small enough.
You heard
but...
Aiden be like, "Hey, guys, stuff is hello. They're there."
It's weirder over here also. She's gonna say out. I found their kind of basement, sort of, but there's an occupant.
What do you mean there's an occupant?
The roots.
Yeah, so but you said this you said the house is kind of like raised, and then because like how far was it raised off the ground?
Probably about 3 feet.
Probably about 3 feet. Gotcha.
Not far. It would be enough space for likely, like if you had to venture a guess, it would be enough space to match like a crawl space. But they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't really. At this point, crawl spaces had not been invented.
Nope. Well, yeah. Usually, if something is raised off the ground in this time, I would think like, oh, they have like food storage underneath their home.
Sure.
A root cellar, yes.
Yeah. But when Solsara says that, I think I'll go over to where she is.
So Sora would like to channel positive energy into the roots. Just to see what happens.
Okay, sure. So Sora, when you begin to channel positive energy into the roots, give me a perception check.
Sure. That's pretty good.
It's flashing with a speed of which almost does not catch your field of vision. Something harkens up from the nettle of blackened thorn web, and it rakes out at your hand. Take a single point of damage as it breaks through the leather glove.
Understood. Root thing reacts to positive energy. Ouch.
Kill it with fire.
Hey, you weren't mean to me.
This is a monster house. And Bub still hasn't seen that movie.
I have not. Aiden, you didn't say you were moving. You're still watching. Curiosity is something that has always been a vast part of your life. It's led you to the most interesting locations and places. It took you to school. It took you into every quest and minor adventure. It's led you to here, which is important. That's important. You're still not sure how, but you're certain it ties to your own lineage. And that's important. And you recall having a conversation on the eve previous. You recall Rowan saying, I was at the house and I saw the children. A boy, Declan, and other kids, probably as siblings. They were playing at a well. And where you are, you realize that it matches the same side of the description of where the well was. So you begin to trace the horizon, trying to field what looks to be anything that looks like a well. Curiosity got the best of you. So you watch, you seek, and then you find something that might be a well, or might have been a well at one point. It's a small outcropping of stones. You see, in this time, by their design and the way that it looks, it has no roof. Nothing that seems to block any kind of being or figure from maybe falling in, or weather from hitting inside of this. It sort of looks like a fairy cropping. Just a circle of stones. You can't see into the well from this location. It matches the horizon in your field of view. You can just see where it looks like it might be.
Guys, this is going to sound stupid, but I think we need to go take a look at this thing I just see outside the house.
Everyone can hear him say that.
Rowan, I think I found your dream well thingy.
If that's my dream well, we're not going near it.
Do you even want to know if it's real or not? Who knows? Maybe we can, like, toss, like, you know, like, burning stuff down there and whatever, kill it with fire.
Last thing I touched with fire, it ate the fire. Do coffee plants usually eat fire? I thought plants didn't eat fire.
They don't. That's not
Plants
a normal
normally
plant
hate
thing.
fire.
They eat fire, they just eat it once.
Jen, you as Aiden know that's not entirely true. There are plants that subsist on heat. Though they're not common to the region, certainly not common to an area like this. You know they exist.
All right, I'm gonna do something stupid.
Oh boy,
That's
I'm here
worked
for
out
this.
us before.
Well, actually, first things first, I'm going to detect magic.
Yep.
Roll a D1000.
What are you trying to detect magic upon?
I am specifically looking towards the ring, the supposed well ring.
Cast the spell so that the chat can see it. If they would like to read it, they can.
And this is where Jen loses his eyesight.
Who knew Aiden was going to go blind so fast?
Yay, come
You
be blind
detect,
with me.
yeah, you detect magical auras. The amount of information revealed depends on how long you study the particular area. In the first round, you get the presence or the absence of magical auras. Second round is the number of different magical auras and the power of the most potent. In the third round, the strength and location of each aura. So you'll focus on this ring, the Ring of Stones. And you definitely detect that this is it has a bit of a pungent amount of this very strange aura. This is your spell, dog. I can't tell you what to do with it.
Those watching see me lean closer and closer to the window. I am intently studying it.
You see just one brow just
Face pressed up against like a school bus window. Like,
Yeah.
I'm assuming I see an aura or something emanating from it. I am now going to try and concentrate and pick apart the bits of the weave together to see what its story is.
Sure. As you begin to focus and concentrate on this particular spot, you notice that there are multiple layers of magic here. It's not just a singular aura.
Zoom locked on me. I didn't hear a bit of that.
You realize that there are multiple layers of auras. This isn't just a singular weave, that it's different types of magic. But what you can immediately tell from focusing, especially based on what little bit of work you've done now with both Solsora and Carter, it's divine.
Hey guys, it's something godly. I'm still trying to determine more. Mechanically wise, I am going to try and concentrate harder and use.
You muted yourself.
You cut out or muted.
I'm going to concentrate, use knowledge arcana, and basically I'm trying to get as much detail from this as I can. Because I'm going to have to move a heavy ass table that I just dragged in there if I want to get closer.
You have your face nearly pressed against the glass and you're focusing, your eyes fixated upon this spot as you try to discern and decipher, separate, repopulate, rebuild, try to understand how each weave of divine magic runically wraps around another as if one is almost divined in suppression, like it's creating its own blanket to cover, to suppress. It's heavy with this liquid red. As it begins to helix and encircle, it tightens and releases and tightens over and over again like it's a cork or a bottle top. And what tries to eke itself from below this ring is devoid of shape. It's like black lightning crawling at the top, like it's Mentos in a Coke bottle, my friend. It is trying with everything that it can to usher forth from the surface like a geyser. It is attacking this red runic weave. And as you're focusing, your eyes beginning to grow tight and very tensely so, you're watching. Something smacks the glass. I need a will save. You panic, pushing yourself away out of the safety of and fear of what that could have been as you witness the hand of some creature drag across the glass, and you see mud-like streaks mixed with blood, and then you hear the sound of what you would think is wood on wood, but it's actually the bones of a baboon pressed against the glass, dragging, scraping across.
Shit, they're here. They're at the window. They're here.
You can just see this much of the face crept up over the windowsill. Its eyelids look like they've been stripped and torn away, where bits of the orbital socket and the skull of the forehead of the creature has been revealed. This eyeless beast, it's sunk and watching. And as you've backed away, you witness just above, where it looks like there was a bulkhead built above this washing basin, there appears to be the family sigil. It's like the mark and placehead of this family, and what you can see is the hand of a dominant and prominent male clutched in iron, and where you're expecting to see something that looks like and feels a vision of combat, where you're expecting to see Hextor's arrows and blood. You see flowers. The family sigil is Hextor's hand, not clutching arrows, but clutching flowers. And where you're
All right.
expecting blood to run from the bottom, it's just the root work wrapping the arm.
All right. Shit, guys. We need to make sure that Dieter and her dad live. We got this all wrong. They're not cursed. I think they're the key that keeps the evil in. And
So the plan
yeah,
hasn't changed.
Aiden keeps kind of shouting this, but it basically what it is it turned over in his mind. Things are exactly the opposite. It's not the family that's cursed. It's the family that's contained.
It's like from the back of the room. We should hurt them. They're bad to. Never mind. I was completely wrong.
The baboons are still here, but
Muted.
shit. We need a druid or something. These coffee plants might be the key to this whole thing.
No druids here.
Yeah.
The
In the
coffee plants-
meantime, I got a frickin' baboon staring at me through the window. I need someone with, hello? Any of you guys with the big heavy instruments? We could use you right now.
It didn't come through the window. Just barricade the window.
As you glance back again, you can see that the figure is no longer there. The creeping eyes that were just looming above the windowsill itself watching you, you can still see the streaks of the blood and mud as it's raked its hands across. And that sound of the bone on the single pane of glass will live with you for forever. But it's not there.
Aiden kind of mumbles to him, for the record, I fucking hate this.
Is the vanity the tallest thing in this room with the matronly objects that Sosora can see?
The tallest thing in this room is definitely that full-length mirror. It is definitely for a human or of a race that's significantly taller than yourself. It's a 6-foot mirror. It's probably pretty heavy as well, just because it is traditional wooden frame. It looks as if it has been sort of like screwed in, like it has a wooden bevel on either side so that it can sort of tilt as well, but it's pretty heavy, Sulsora.
Can it get through the door? Is it too tall to get through the door?
It is too tall to get through the door, yes. You would need some assistance. Looking at this piece and based on what's happening on the floor after you try to move it, this was probably built in this room. Maybe assembled even in this room.
Do I think I can move it along the floor without it breaking the floor?
You can certainly try.
Oh, shit.
You
What
remember,
was this about?
you do have Aaron and you do have Carter there.
Is there anything else, either in the living room or that's not that mirror, that would be that tall? Or is this mirror like, this is taller than tall, this is the tallest?
It's probably about 6.5 to 7 feet tall.
Okay, it's the tallest. Carter, I have a plan, but it's terrible. I think we should try to move the mirror to barricade the kitchen window.
What was this about the occupied root cellar?
Oh, it's full of roots. Is that why it's called a root cellar?
Not quite, but
I want to move this mirror, but this mirror is heavy, and I think it might break this floor.
I would say it's probably not worth the effort then.
Would I hear anything of what's going on downstairs?
I imagine, yes, they've not been exactly quiet
No,
about it.
we're not being quiet. We're being
And
loud.
you
I was going to
realize
say Aiden was shouting,
that-
so that's why.
That where they are right now is directly below you.
I would be like, Dieter. Like, again, I would grab him because he hasn't been focused. Like, grab him by the shoulders. Stay with your dad. Stay in this room.
Yeah.
And then I'd go downstairs and see what's going on.
Farm, as you turn to exit the room, I need a perception check. It's not high. As you begin to step outside of the room, your eyes fall to the door frame, and it's like you just take in everything, right? Like this is what your eyes do. It's constantly measuring. It's measuring everything around you at all times. It's assessing the situation. And as you turn to take that step, you see a bucket that looks so familiar. You see the dent in that bucket. It looks as if it has been drawn over a stone lip for years, decades even. It stops you in your step. It is the only thing that has been familiar about this place since you've gotten here. A tin bucket.
Is it full?
Do you step to the bucket?
Yes.
When you begin to step over to the bucket, you begin to see the waxy lumps. It holds this bizarre, viscous, almost pustule-like shape. You smell the sweet, sickly tallow. You're certain that that is fat.
I'm just going to register that and go downstairs because that's more pressing right now.
Got it. Clocks the disgusting. That's a problem for another time.
Well, I don't think it's a problem. But we'll see.
Okay. Sounds good. You begin to head downstairs. You rapidly take the steps. You descend and you find the others. It looks like two of them are struggling to free what looks to be a pretty sizable mirror from a rear room. And from your best guesses, it's probably directly below where Dieter and his father are currently. You get a look at this. It's beautiful. This is probably single-handedly the most expensive piece in the house.
Is there a window in that room?
There is not.
Okay. So that wasn't the room with the... Because there's two windows you said on the first floor.
Correct.
Yeah, there's one in the kitchen, one in the...
It's essentially one in the front, one in the back.
Cool. I wouldn't be helping to move this mirror. I think it's just too heavy and too much to try for barricading.
Okay.
I'm more worried about this root bundle that seems to have hurt Sulsara in some way.
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing shouts from the kitchen again about the baboons are here. So, and I guess I hear Rowan come from downstairs. So I'll probably head out to meet with him.
If Aaron comes out and meet with me, I would... Actually,
Okay,
I'd probably...
I got two things there.
Yeah. Yep.
It sounded like you said you wanted to focus on the roots, but then you said you wanted to focus on Rowan.
So I was focusing on the roots. Sulsara said something about moving the mirror. I said that's probably not a great idea. It's too heavy.
Okay.
And it's not a great barricade. And then when I hear Rowan comes downstairs, I'm going to go meet with him.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't stop you. You can talk.
Yep. Apparently the baboons are here. I didn't hear them breaking against the house yet, but Aiden says otherwise. What's the best course of action here?
Are the doors barricaded?
The doors are barricaded.
Then we have to tend to the windows.
There's not much furniture left in that house. We might be better off forcing them to come through the windows and fighting them there.
I would go to the window that Aiden's at, because that's where he saw the monkeys.
Yeah.
Baboons. And one, I'd want to take a look around, and two, I'd want to tell him about the bucket, because he's the one that had a vision also.
You got it.
And I would tell him, like, hey, I saw the bucket with the tallow upstairs, that I saw in my dream. What do you think? You're the only one I know that's had visions, that finds meaning in images.
Well, is it it's the tallow of the stuff that they pulled out of the well?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. Maybe we have Carter look at it, see if it's demon tainted. If it is, then it's the essence of whatever the roots are trapping. Because see here, look at the sigil here. It looks just like what we saw on Dieter that night, right? Except there's flowers instead of. So, and that's their family sigil. And now we're talking, Carter and them are talking about roots and how roots are eating things. And I was looking at the well, and it looked like the roots were holding, a weave of roots or something were holding it down. So if that's the tallow that came up out of this well, then that's a piece of the evil.
Can you go with Carter and look at the bucket? I'll man the window just in case.
All right, where's this bucket? I'm just going to bring it down.
It's right upstairs outside of the bedroom. The door is open. You'll see Dieter and his dad in there.
Okay. And Aiden will do that. Well, before he goes, Aiden on the point, and the baboon was running its bone hands across right there. It stuck his face over the lip. That's why I was shouting.
As long as there's not more than 6, I'll be fine.
Got it.
Carter and Solsora. You overhear this conversation. You hear something about the thing that was on that was on Dieter. It was the hand. And you recall his hand sort of manifesting this steel-like gauntlet with weaves of brass and copper clutching onto arrows that were bleeding. You weren't sure if it was his hand or if it was the arrows themselves. But you're still messing with this mirror, trying to find a way to weave it out of the door.
I would have stopped if I overheard this Aiden talking about taking Carter to go see the bucket. Okay. Because if he needs Carter for something, I can't move the mirror myself, so I'll stop moving the mirror if Carter needs to go.
Do you go out and talk to them? And also, Sora, do you go to take a look at what it is?
If I hear this last half of the conversation where they're talking about the fat bucket and talking about seeing if it's demonic, then yes, Sora will turn around and come out.
Okay. You step out of the room, you begin to move into the kitchen, and you can see up to that symbol. Carter, you see that she leaves the room. She sort of just barely shimmied the mirror to the side, and at this point, because it's shimmied so much, the tarp has fallen off of it. And donning the top of the tarp itself, not the tarp, but the top of the mirror, you actually see that exact same symbol. It is the family sigil that has been weaved and carved into the wood of the top of this mirror, and you can see that brass and silvery copper gauntlet that is clutching where you would expect to see the arrows from Dieter's hands. It is instead a darkened weave of flowers. The rootwork seems to nettle up around his wrist and run down the length of the forearm, where in previous depictions you saw blood. But this time, it's providing essence, it's giving life to foliage, and the flowers are deliberately darkened. And as you focus your vision onto those and you kind of step forward, you almost instinctively, it's something that we naturally do as humanity. When we step up to something, we instinctively lift our hand to provide clarity for space. It's about depth perception. And as your hand touches the mirror and you're glancing up, you can see that hanging from the bottom of the weave is cherries. It's coffee. It is a coffee flower. And when you glance down to walk out of the room, you see something that you weren't anticipating seeing, Carter. You don't see the Carter that is right now. You see a Carter that is before. You see a version of yourself unscathed and untouched. You're not supposed to walk in the realm of men, Carter. You can see wings. Not from your back, but from your knee to your ankle on either side, and they usher you across the floor. You do not step. You glide. You do not see a morning star in your hand. You see an instrument. You do not see the means of war. You see a means of communication. You do not see blood and sweat-soaked tabard and tunic. You see fine metals draping your body. And weaved into those metals is a symbol of Palor, golden and glowing. And you realize that Carter is a name that was given to you, and you are certain at this particular moment, as you begin to lean away from the mirror, that Carter is not the name you were born with. You don't know your name, but it's what you've come to accept, at least to answer to. Aaron, you round the corner to see what exactly is happening in the kitchen, and you can see that Carter is stuck. He's stuck in a stare. When you see someone that is deep in thought, and they've got that 1,000-yard stare, Carter is looking himself in the face with the most intensity. His fear pales in comparison to the look that he's giving himself right here, as if he stumbled onto one of the darkest truths, a secret forlorn from the eyes of men and from the annals of history. It's like he has his own secret. And as he pushes back and away, his eyes kilt to the left and sees a reflection of you stepping through the hallway. It almost sends shivers down your spine, Aaron.
Aaron, I have an idea. I should probably go check on the bucket, but look, the symbol, it's got the coffee cherries. The coffee plant's holding things together.
Does that help us with?
Well, Aiden's saying that the evil is being held down. Maybe, yeah, oh, right, I only told Sosor. Something's wrong with the coffee plants. They have this gray slime on them. And when I touched them, it brought me to a root network that goes into the forest. And the slime was radiating evil energy. Maybe something in the forest is messing with the coffee plants, or maybe we're missing something the coffee plants need. They were craving warmth. They took my torch.
So you're saying we should go find this tree?
Maybe. I'm gonna go look at the bucket.
Aiden, you've reached the precipice of the stairs. You look into the first room, you realize it's the child's room. You do not see the boy and his father. You step into the next room just to see the bucket down to your side, and you can see the heaps of tallow, and it's almost in its sweet, sickly lard-like form. It wants to be water, but it fails to take shape, and just as such, it's meant to shift and to mix. They used to do a lot with tallow back in the day. Fire was pretty important from it.
Yes. Yeah, Aiden actually, he looks closely. He'll tentatively, does the bucket have a handle, or is it just a...
It once had a handle. You can tell it still has the spots where the tin was clipped. Something was rusted into its side from years of use. Once had a handle, not anymore.
I meant if Mary was here, she could weave something real quick. All right. Today has been a day of bad decisions. How far from the lip of the bucket is the tallow down?
Probably about, we'll say that the bucket itself is a 14-inch from top to bottom, and I think it's probably the bottom 6 inches heavy. So It's not light, it's not water. Even water weight has weight, but this is heavy. It's heavy with tallow.
Aiden's actually going to see if he can pick up.
You can. It's not hard.
And he's going to head down because he does not know that Carter is coming up the stairs.
You turn as you lift the bucket and you take a step out, and you can hear the sounds of someone coming up the stairs. As you begin to descend, you see what looks to be Aaron as starting to come up. Aaron, he's clutching onto a tin bucket as he descends downward. Do you meet in the middle? What does this look like?
Yeah.
You mean Carter? Or because I wasn't going up. I wasn't going up the stairs. I'm still in the room.
My misunderstanding. Then forgive me.
Carter, this is the bucket. Well, anyway, the tallow-like stuff in the inside. One, is it demonic in nature? Two, I wonder if the roots are either nourished by it or are repelled by it. Three, since the roots like fire and heat, and tallow is a good source of it from like candles and stuff like that, could we actually put a wick in it, make a fire, and would the roots like to contain it and eat it? Because I think the roots are actually here to help us, not to hurt us.
I have no idea. Here, let me just... And once again, casting Detect Fiendish Presence while I stare at a bucket.
Nothing fiendish about the bucket.
I look inside the bucket.
Nothing fiendish about that.
The bucket and the... Ugh. What is this? Well, it's not fiendish. Looks disgusting.
It's some sort of fat is what it looks like, I think. My mom could tell you more. She dealt more with this sort of stuff.
Probably use it to light their lamps.
But here's the thing. The mom of this place died how many months ago? They boarded up all the stuff, and then suddenly this dilapidation has accelerated so fast that Dieter doesn't recognize the place. Maybe we need to uncover all that. Maybe there's more clues in stuff that they got wrapped up.
That mirror's weird.
Why? What's wrong with the mirror?
It shows you things. Maybe we should point at the roots.
Hey, there's a thought. And like I said, it's tallow. It's you can use it as lamp oil to make candles, whatever. Put a wick in it. It's a fire. It's a flame. It's a light source. You say the roots are craving the light and the heat. Maybe we can, use the mirror and this, and I don't know. I'm just guessing it right now. There's no book that explains any of this.
Well, I think you're the smartest person I know. So let's do it.
Oh, heavens help us all if that's the case. And I'm going to continue down to the bedroom.
Okay. You do.
Uh-oh.
You do just that.
I hate when he gets that smile on his face.
The giggle and the smile, yes.
Time to experiment. First, I'm going to run to the kitchen, grab a spoon or a ladle, whatever, and see how the roots react to it.
You find something akin to a mixing spoon, something wooden, hefted by the hands of humans. Old. You make use of it just fine. You thrust it down into the bucket to mix this thick, viscous mess.
And I'm going to offer a lump of it to the roots.
You do just that.
Is there any reaction?
No. No.
And then they said it reacted to heat, warmth, and fire. So I am going to find a piece of cloth,
Okay.
make a makeshift wick out of it, and kind of create a mini like oil lamp.
Okay, so you're creating sort of like a clot or almost like a polyp of this tallow. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. How do you light it?
Flint and steel
Okay. How are you holding it?
with the ladle.
Got it. You proceed to do so, and you are surprised at the rapidity of burning, how quick it strikes and takes flame, how sickly sweet it burns, the blackened smoke that rises from the cloth. It leaves a disgusting scent in the air, but something that leaves you hungering. I need everyone in the house to give me a fortitude save.
Okay. Hungry.
Well, re-rolling that. That's fun to roll.
Fortitude is fuck.
Yeah, I'll use that last re-roll. Well, it's 11 again.
Aaron with an
Cool.
11, Carter with a 17, Aiden with a 19, Rowan with a 21, Solsora with a 25.
Hell yeah.
Solsora, Rowan,
Yes.
you pass.
Shit.
Each of you who fail, you feel as this smell begins to permeate at first the room and then through the hallways as it dances around the lounging places of the house, the kitchen, into the sitting room. It hits you and it's disgusting. It's disgusting how sweet it is. But it's surprising at how hungry it makes you. How hungry your body seems to yearn for something. A fuel, a meat. It's almost primal. It borderlines on carnal. Carter, this is the first time you've really, truly felt hunger. In the last 24 hours, you felt both pain, death, fear, and hunger, and you're amused at the concept that any god could even remotely desire to feel any of these things. If this is what it means to be alive, you're almost certain that you wouldn't want to be alive. Because none of them feel good. It's like an aching clawing at your very person that's pushing you beyond things that make you comfortable. Aiden, you notice you're licking your lips. Aaron, your stomach lurches, not out of disgust, but realizing it's been more than a few hours since your last meal, and trail rations just don't do the job. It's good in a pinch, but it's been 3 days worth of pinches, and it's not enough. You need something of substance. You're salivating. So, Sora, you're fine. Rowan, you're fine. You both smell the odor. You can see it cloud the air around you, this darkened charcoal-like smoke. But you feel fine. But now that you have this on the ladle, what are you doing with it?
Well, the original intent was to offer this little piece of burning to the root.
Yeah, you said original. You used a key word there. I'm good at picking up on context clues. Why don't you key me in there, Dice Man?
However,
Waiting on that. I'm going to eat the fire.
It feeds me and warms me at the same time.
well, I was going to say it now it smells like mom's barbecue.
I don't want to go to your mom's barbecue. Brother.
Where the fire is against the fat and little rivulets of melted fat kind of run to the side.
Yeah.
Take a finger. I'm gonna dab that liquid and
There's something about it. It's serenely sweet, yet at the same time it's quite savory. It's got a natural salty flavor to it. You can't tell what it came from. You know it was from something alive. But you're not used to eating living creature. You have pork and beef or whatever you can afford at the time. It's good. Could use some seasoning, but it's good.
this is strangely appealing. Guys, you try it.
Do I hear
Maybe
this?
that's why the roots like it so much.
Yeah.
And then I will offer it to the root as well.
What does Aaron and what does Carter do after you watch him consume some melted fat?
I feel weird.
It's like, this isn't half bad. That's kind of good.
If I hear him say that, I'm gonna go grab the bucket. These fucking guys.
I'd still have to know what Aaron and Carter are doing.
Carter's trying to grasp what he feels right now because, he hasn't had to eat since he woke up in the crater. He's trying to figure out, like, I feel bad. Something's wrong with my stomach.
Sure. What about Aaron?
Aaron feels this pang of hunger in his stomach, but he knows that something is off about this. Especially, like, you don't just eat fat. Fat doesn't normal.
Where was that line in the sand? Was it the baboons? Was it the bloat flies? Perhaps it was the dying man. When you're like, hold on. Wait a second, guys.
Wait a second here.
Licking fat, that's where I draw the line. There's a lot of people in Texas that would be like, you're on that side, dog. Bring the fat.
Well, when it's with meat, that's a different thing. But eating a bucket of tallow, that's
It's not like you guys weren't totaled by the drug-fueled dream about a bucket of fat, and we shouldn't eat it.
There might be some truth there. It makes sense that if you've
did
got
in fact
this
get a warning.
this you have a reservation about it. That makes sense. Jen, I need a will save from you. Just you.
Because you lick the fat.
Thank you. That's what I needed to see.
Sure.
You hear the sounds of footfall coming from the other room. As three men stare at a bucket, one longingly licking the burning from a wick and cloth. Rowan, as you round the corner, you see Aaron doing one of these. As he's trying to place what's happening, Carter's clutching onto his tummy. And you can see Aiden getting little dollops on his finger. Just a quick little thing.
A little dollop, do you?
Yeah. I love that it's like the monkey, like the see no evil, hear no evil monkeys, right? As they're all like, what's wrong with me? I don't think this is wrong. This is pretty good, but like, this is crazy to me.
We got enough monkeys outside the house. We don't need any inside the house.
Yeah, true story. So when you round the corner and you see them, it's not like he's had a significant amount, but you can notice that Aiden's lips and probably a little bit of his upper soul patch and lower mustache has a little bit of a glisten to it. It's not like he's going in on this, right? It's not like he's like super investing, but like you can tell that the curiosity is less than sated, and he's a figure that has always leaned into the curiosity. So he hasn't said he stopped.
Aiden, give me the bucket. I told you about my dream. Why are you eating anything from this bucket?
Yeah. Are you sure it's the same?
I'm sure it's the same.
Here, try
and
it.
just because you're curious, no. I'm gonna if he's handing me the ladle, I'm gonna slap the ladle out of his hand.
No, I'm handing him the bucket. He asked for the bucket.
Then I'm taking the bucket.
Okay. You take the bucket. You can see where the smoke is beginning to plume from the end of this ladle, where the cloth is burning. It sort of looks like a very uneven makeshift Hershey's Kiss of just fat.
And I thought you wanted to see if the roots would eat the fire. Why don't you offer that to the fire?
Well, I was going to, but the smell was just too good.
Okay, do it now. And what about the mirror? You had all these experiments you mentioned. You're getting stuck on this ladle.
Right.
Focus.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Okay, yeah. Experiment 1. Didn't like tallow straight. Experiment 2. Let's try burning tallow.
Do you just like flip it there? Do you slowly lower it? What does that look like?
I'm taking a dollop of the flaming portion and holding it next to the root.
Got it. Okay. You're holding it next to the root. How far?
Well, I'll start with a couple inches, and then
Got it.
I'll slowly move it closer until I see a reaction or I see a little bit of char.
Nothing happens?
You know, where
When you get to, let's just say, about 6 inches away from this, you start to lower it a little bit. There's no reaction. You notice that the fire itself is kind of spread the entire top of the cloth as the tallow is soaking into the cloth.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to try and wholly touch it with the flames.
Okay. You begin to lower the spoon as far down as it possibly will go to sort of net some sort of a response. And you witness as the flame begins to spread. It's this almost blue burn that moves over the tallow-whipped cloth. And then you notice the spoon start to take. As it chars, you can see it starts to have this like sort of pseudo-carbon buildup and start to burn as well. Before you realize it, the spoon itself is even beginning to burn. And when you place it down to the roots, where the tallow was that you had dolloped upon it, that tallow starts to catch as well. What went from just a small fire flicker is now probably a human hand size amount of flame that's beginning to produce from this. And you're touching it down onto this, and you see the whoosh as it takes up, just catches like it's some sort of accelerant. I need a reflex save. Huge. Big roll. You reflexively snap your hand back, but it's not soon enough to save the ladle. As there is a wrapping of the roots that wind up and they snap in almost reflex of themselves. The ladle snaps. It breaks. Something clips the ladle, shattering it in multiple spots. You hear wood clip to the walls in a variety of directions. What were the others doing?
I was watching him lower it down.
Perceptions, please. The two of you that are in the room.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Is Sora in the room?
No.
How about Carter? I think Carter's
staring at the bucket.
Yeah. Carter's Got it.
So Sora just wants to make a knowledge religion on the family crest.
Perfect.
She's staring at the big crest above the window.
Rowan, you witness as shards of this. It looks like this thing reacts in such a way, like it's violent. The root itself seems to wrap up like just so quickly. You hear the multiple slaps of it as it connects with the ladle, and you witness as shards of the ladle go in a variety of directions. Do you do anything?
Oh, I thought like it looked like it froze for a second.
I was just sitting very still.
Did it look like the roots like smacked the ladle? That's what you said? Like it actually shattered?
Yeah.
Like they reacted like,
Yes,
get the hell away from me?
It shattered the ladle, sending not only like the tallow, but like multiple bits of the spoon in a variety of directions.
I mean, I would step back with the bucket and be like, I don't think it likes either the fat or fire. I think both are wrong. The way it reacted, not like the plant, like Jackson said.
Wait a minute, you had
22?
I want to offer you something here.
Sure. What's the bargain?
If you take a desperation dice and you know what? I'll just say that. You have more to gain on a 25 on your on your perception. If you'd like to do so, you need a 25. You got exactly 25.
Bump that desperation dice up to 3.
Worth it.
You're watching, you're not far, okay? You're not far, and it makes sense. You're not going to catch every detail because the moment there is that flicker of the root that snaps up, this arm-like snapping of it weaving upward, at 25, and nobody else catches this, you can see a room beneath the root, and you swear you see the leg of a child.
And that's where we end the session. I would tell the others. I was like, I think there's something below the roots. I thought I saw a leg when the spoon blew up.
A leg? Whose leg?
A child's leg. I don't know whose leg. A child's leg.
Carter, you instinctively look over to the root. You look back to the others, then back to the root. The root's not burning. Why is the room filling with smoke?
Do I see anything burning?
Give me a memory test. It's not going to be hard. So click your wisdom, please.
Oh boy. Memory's not my thing, Bub. That's the whole point of this character.
You have rerolls. Oh, that's not bad though.
Jackson, my friend, you don't have to remember very long. It's been the last minute. Because what happened in the last minute, neither of you saw. The only person that could have seen it had their attention immediately drawn to what was south of the roots, down into a cellar room that had once been hidden. Why it now is a protective shield of darkened, knotted root, you're not certain, but as you are the first person to realize that the room is beginning to slowly fill with smoke. The shattering of the spoon, the rapid launching of the burning tallow, no one paid attention to the tallow that whipped behind. A series of tarps. No one thought much of it, and now the room is starting to fill with smoke. And that is where we end tonight's session.
This house is on fire.
I've been trying to make this wisdom roll for like an hour, Bub. I just want to make this knowledge check.
Make it for me. Make it right now.
I just want to know if there's any other godly points
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
with this. Oh, fuck it.
Quick,
There
use
we
your
go.
rerolls.
Yeah, I have one left, so might as well.
I wanted to mess with the mirror.
I ask you the same. Would you like a desperation die? 20 will net you new information. 25 would net you a lot of information.
But 25 is
Roll a
really
6.
far away.
Had to roll a 6. Yeah, what's one more
Hey,
desperation? die?
Christy, I licked the fat. All right, go for it.
Oh, fuck it.
I
All right, Bub.
I had to taste the forbidden bacon. Go for it.
No, 24, unfortunately.
But you see more.
Do you want another desperation die?
Oh my god.
I don't think you can use 2 on the same roll.
Only one.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can use 2 on the same
You
roll.
can only use one. Yeah.
There can be only one.
Yeah.
Should have maybe like gave myself guidance or something. That's okay. Hindsight 2020 and all that.
There is nothing that immediately makes you think information-wise in regards to what you know, right? So here's the thing. What you gather is that is most certainly Hextor's Gauntlet. You know that much. But every depiction of Hextor's Gauntlet is clutching arrows. He was a god not known for clutching flowers. What could that mean? That information could rewrite all of religious history if there's any implications there. However, there is, in the annals of religion, there were moments in Hextor's life that he made what was believed, right? He made pacts with his an aligned brother named Heronius. Hextor is never seen as a good god. Never. He's seen as in their portfolio, he's crushing his enemies, ruling through fear, peace, but only through absolute domination. But what does peace look like to a war god? How does one create a space of affluence through domination? What does an iron fist of freedom really look like? And how does it have effect here? The information that you may gain from this, or something that you might be able to tell, given that you were so close, is that there might be some extreme revisionist history amidst the myth and the mythos that is spoken in the churches and the halls in regards to Hextor. Every god has a softer side. Something made them hard. Something weathered the storm for them to create the space for their success and whatever it is that makes them the way that they are. What made Hextor put down the flower to embrace the rose bush, to embrace the thorn? That is a question that I will leave you with as we end tonight's session. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching episode 4 of the Shackled City. We were in a little bit longer. That's okay. I know my players don't mind. So I will tell everyone right now, if you tune in next week for the last session before 2026, the session's probably going to run a little long. It's probably going to be an hour or 3 longer, depending upon what my players get through. They'll figure it out.
An hour or 5.
God, I hope not. I hope it's not 5 hours longer.
Chad, a 24-hour stream just showed up. It's all shackled, baby.
It's all shackled.
It's all shackled all night. You don't gotta miss anything.
All I know is I got to leave at 5 a.m. Eastern, so it can't go past that for me.
That's fine. That's like 6 hours. We have plenty of time.
Jen's in office. They're like, excuse me, Christopher, you awake? I'll kill you later, Nimoy. What's going on?